Community as a concept has existed within human society since possibly the beginning of human society as a whole. Without community, we possibly wouldn't be where we are today, as essentially our communities have raised us, have developed us as people. From your education to your family to your friends, those are all, in a way, a community. Communities are incredibly important, not only to development, but just in general. We see this idea being pushed in a lot of what we do, from modern day media, such as in teen coming of age movies, where they're always searching for that place where they truly belong, as in a community where they can feel comfortable and confident in. We see it in certain phrases like, it takes a village to raise a kid, that village likely being a community. Today's quotation is, "Our strength is in our community," which I agree with. For my first example, I will be going over the first humans. The first humans lived in a dangerous world where we didn't have our modern inventions, our modern weapons. They only truly had rudimentary weapons that possibly weren't as effective which truly just weren't as effective as what we have today. These first peoples came together in settlements and tribes as they realized that they had strength in numbers. This example really follows a very literal sense of strength, where if one person were to solely be attacked, they would likely die due to being attacked. But if a group of people were attacked, then, like say by a predator, this group of people could fend off the predator. It's just this basic idea of our strength is in numbers. There's strength in numbers. So, very literal sense of the idea of strength, but how about emotional? For my second example, I'm going to be talking about disaster relief, or also natural disaster relief. For events like 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina, there was an intense response from first responders and also volunteers. First responders to go out and save people, essentially, and volunteers who gave out food, water, medicine for those in need. Without these first responders, without these volunteers, these events would likely have been much more devastating than they already were. Without their help, the death tolls, the injury tolls would likely be much higher. And it's that we see a sort of supportive strength, where we as communities, as humans as a community, have essentially created a strength for ourselves by coming together and supporting each other and giving each other help. On a similar vein, for my third example, the civil rights movement, or just activism in general, such as for the gay rights movement or the suffragist movement, where these communities came together for essentially to push a common goal. They realized that with more people, they could have their goal was more attainable, as with more people who agree on a certain goal, such as one civil rights movement, they were able to push their ideas, to express their ideas, and to get people to listen to that expression of ideas. They were able to essentially have this strength to push what they wanted to be seen, the change that they wanted to be seen within the world. Without these numbers, the civil rights movement as we know it might have not totally been as successful, or the gay rights movement, or the suffragette movement. Without these numbers, without these communities coming together, these movements likely would not have made it past the beginning stages, would not have gone through, would not have initiated the changes that they did. Community is important. We as humans are social creatures. No matter where we go, we are always essentially forming communities in our workplaces, in our education spaces, in our home lives. And in that we find strength. Because with these support systems created with these first humans, where they found strength in numbers, and with these first responders and natural disaster relief and volunteers who supported those in need to continue going on, to continue essentially to continue living, and with the civil rights movement who fought for change as a group, we all see how it's in the idea of coming together as a group where we have our strength, where we have these impacts and have these goals and aspirations that have come into fruition within these groups. Thus, I agree with the quotation today of our strength is in our community. Thank you.